Imagine harvesting the freshest vegetables right from your home garden with almost no effort. Sounds like a dream, right? Today, we're going to talk about 8 amazing vegetables that practically grow themselves. You'll learn how even the most inexperienced gardener can get a fantastic harvest without spending all their time on it. Many people think gardening is hard work and takes up a lot of time, but that's simply not true. In ancient times, people grew food simply by tossing seeds onto the ground, and it grew. We'll show you how you can recapture that simplicity today. So cast aside any doubts. You don't need a huge yard or plot, and you certainly don't need to be an expert. Just listen. So, what's the secret behind these vegetables? Many people think you need a special gift to grow a garden, but that's just not true. In fact, these plants are the result of thousands of years of natural selection. They're simply programmed to survive. Just imagine, you plant them once, and you're harvesting for weeks, even months. And all this without needing to do any special tricks or spend hours tending to them. It's not just about saving money, it's about a taste you'll never find in any store. The freshness, the health benefits, and most importantly, that incredible feeling of pride in growing your own food. And here's the best part. You can start today. You don't need to be an expert. Just give it a try. So, as we've seen, growing delicious and healthy vegetables in your own garden, or even on your balcony, is much easier than you might think. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. And what about you? What vegetables have you found are the easiest to grow? Share your tips and experiences in the comments below. Okay, let's dive right in and explore these champions of low-maintenance gardening. First up on our list, and for good reason, is the humble radish. This little root vegetable is a true speed demon. If you're looking to see the results of your efforts in just a couple of weeks, radishes are your go-to. They mature incredibly fast, and the care they require is minimal. This makes them absolutely perfect for anyone just starting out on their gardening journey or simply impatient for results. So, what makes growing radishes so straightforward? It all comes down to their life cycle. It's incredibly short. From sowing the seeds to harvesting, your first crop can take as little as 20 to 30 days. Can you imagine? You've barely had time to get used to the idea of having a garden, and you're already pulling up fresh, crisp roots. It's not just fast, it's also hugely motivating. When it comes to planting, it couldn't be simpler. Radishes don't like being transplanted, so you sow the seeds directly into the soil. Just make some shallow rows, space the seeds about an inch or so apart, and lightly cover them with soil. That's it. No complicated calculations, no fiddly transplanting. This truly makes them an ideal vegetable for beginners. Now let's talk about soil. While radishes aren't overly fussy, they definitely prefer loose, well-drained soil. If your soil is heavy clay, just mix in some sand or compost. The main thing is to ensure water doesn't sit and pool. They don't demand super rich soil or fancy fertilizers. Of course, if your soil is very poor, your harvest might not break records. But even in average soil, you'll get perfectly decent results. You can definitely get a harvest without a lot of fuss. Next up is watering. This is probably the most important point if you want juicy, non-bitter radishes. Radishes love moisture. They need consistent and even watering, especially when it's dry. If they don't get enough water, the roots will be small, tough, and very bitter. And this is where a common myth is busted. Many people think radishes are naturally very spicy, but often that bitterness is simply a result of inconsistent watering. Proper, adequate watering will keep them tender and pleasant tasting. An easy care garden is absolutely achievable. Light and temperature matter too. Radishes enjoy sunny spots, but can't stand intense heat. That's why they're often planted in early spring or late summer. In hot weather, they tend to bolt, meaning they quickly send up a flower stalk and the root stops developing. So here's another secret to success. Plant your radishes when temperatures are moderate, and they'll reward you with a plentiful harvest. And here's a pro tip for anyone who wants a constant supply of fresh radishes. Use succession planting. Simply sow small batches of seeds every 1 to 2 weeks. This way, you can harvest continuously throughout the season, rather than waiting for all your roots to mature at once. It's a real game changer for a simple, smart garden. Harvesting is also a simple pleasure. When the roots reach your desired size, just gently pull them out of the ground. Don't leave them in the ground for too long, or they can become woody and lose their crispness. This is usually about 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Imagine the satisfaction of pulling up a perfectly round, bright red radish straight from the soil, grown with minimal effort on your part. That's the joy of homegrown produce. So, radishes are more than just a vegetable. They're your ticket into the world of easy gardening. They prove that anyone can grow fresh food from their own garden, even if you're just starting out. Our next low-maintenance hero is just as interesting and easy to grow. Stay tuned. Next up, we have spinach, a true powerhouse of vitamins that doesn't ask for much. Just sow the seeds and enjoy. If you're looking for a way to add maximum nutrition to your diet without the fuss, spinach is exactly what you need. Growing it is an incredibly simple process that even the most inexperienced gardener can handle. So why is spinach so easy to care for? First off, it grows very quickly. Like radishes, spinach won't keep you waiting long. Just a few weeks after sowing, you can start harvesting your first tender leaves. This makes it an ideal choice for anyone who wants a steady supply of fresh greens. It responds well to care, but will still give you a great harvest, even with minimal effort. When it comes to planting, it's super simple too. Spinach seeds are sown directly into the soil. You can do this in early spring, as soon as the ground thaws, or in late summer for an autumn harvest. It doesn't like heat, so avoid planting during the hottest months. Just scatter the seeds over the bed, or make shallow rows. Lightly cover them with soil and water. Spacing isn't as critical as for other crops because you'll be harvesting the leaves. This makes it very convenient for a busy gardener. Spinach isn't particularly picky about soil. It prefers fertile, well-drained soils with a neutral to slightly acidic pH. But honestly, it does perfectly fine in ordinary garden soil, as long as it's not too heavy and clayey. Adding compost before planting will certainly boost yields, but it's not absolutely necessary. Spinach is one of those vegetables that are easy to grow in most conditions. Watering is crucial for getting tender and juicy spinach leaves. It really needs plenty of moisture. Regular and ample watering, especially in dry weather, helps prevent premature bolting. That's when the plant forms flower stalks. If spinach doesn't get enough moisture, its leaves will become tough and bitter. What's more, lack of water can trigger rapid flowering, after which the leaves are no longer good to eat. So, if you want tender and delicious spinach, don't forget to water. It's a simple secret to a problem-free harvest. As for light, spinach prefers cool conditions and can grow in full sun or partial shade. In regions with hot summers, it's best to plant it where it will get morning sun and light shade during the hottest part of the day. This helps it keep its leaves longer and prevents early flowering. Did you know that spinach grows beautifully on balconies and in containers? This makes it ideal for growing greens at home and for urban gardening. The most rewarding part is harvesting. Spinach is unique because you can harvest its leaves multiple times. This is known as the cut and come again method. Simply cut the outer leaves, leaving the central ones, and the plant will keep growing and produce new leaves. This means you can get fresh spinach from a single planting for several weeks. It's incredibly convenient and economical. You'll have access to fresh, homegrown greens every day. Spinach isn't just a vegetable, it's a superfood. It's rich in iron and vitamins K, A, and C. Adding it to your diet is a simple way to boost your health. And best of all, you don't need to spend hours caring for it to get all these benefits. It proves that smart gardening doesn't require constant attention. Now you see why spinach ranks so high on the list of low-maintenance vegetables. It's perfect for anyone looking for an easy garden and wanting to enjoy fresh greens. Our next vegetable is just as amazing and offers even more options for easy harvesting. Let's continue our journey through the world of simple gardening. You simply must consider lettuce for your garden. There are tons of varieties, and they are all surprisingly low maintenance. If you dream of fresh, crisp leaves for your sandwiches and salads, but want minimal fuss, lettuce is your perfect match. This veggie is so straightforward to grow. It's often called one of the best options for beginner gardeners. So, what's the secret to this incredible ease? First off, its amazing adaptability. There are hundreds of types. Think crunchy heads, delicate leaf varieties, romaine, butterhead, and all sorts in between. And most are surprisingly resilient and don't demand excessive attention. They're practically designed to give you a harvest, even if you happen to neglect them for a bit. Planting lettuce is incredibly simple. Most varieties grow beautifully when sown directly into the soil. You can plant in early spring as soon as the ground warms up a little, or in late summer for a full harvest. Lettuce doesn't like intense heat, so avoid planting during the hottest summer months. Just scatter the seeds over the soil surface or make shallow rows, cover with a thin layer of earth, and lightly press. In just a few days, you'll see the first green shoots appear. For a steady supply of fresh greens, use the succession planting method. Sow new batches of seeds every 2 to 3 weeks. This ensures a continuous, hassle-free harvest. Lettuce isn't particularly fussy about soil. It prefers loose, fertile soil with good drainage. But even in average garden soil, as long as it's not too heavy and clayey, you'll get excellent results. The main thing is to avoid waterlogged conditions, which can lead to rot. Adding compost or well-rotted manure before planting will certainly improve leaf quality and yield, but it's not critical for an easy-going garden. Watering is perhaps the most crucial factor for getting tender, juicy lettuce leaves. It absolutely loves moisture. Regular and consistent watering, especially in dry, hot weather, is critical. Lack of water can cause leaves to become bitter and tough, and the plant will quickly bolt, meaning it sends up a flower stalk, after which the leaves are no longer good to eat. This is where we bust the myth about bitter lettuce. Often, bitterness isn't a trait of the variety, but a result of insufficient watering or high temperatures. Proper watering is key to avoiding this problem. It's a crucial gardening tip. Lighting also plays a role. It grows well in a sunny spot, but in hot regions or during the hottest parts of the day, light shade is preferable. This helps the leaves stay fresh longer and prevents early bolting. Some varieties, like leaf lettuce, do wonderfully in containers and on balconies, making it perfect for growing greens at home and for urban gardening. Harvesting lettuce is truly rewarding. With leaf varieties, you can harvest using the cut and come again principle. Simply snip or pick off the outer leaves, leaving the central part of the plant intact. This allows the plant to keep growing and produce new leaves for several weeks. Head varieties are harvested all at once when they reach the desired size. Don't leave lettuce on the bed for too long, or it might turn bitter or bolt. Lettuce isn't just delicious, it's also packed with goodness. It's rich in vitamins and minerals and contains plenty of fibre. It's an easy way to add freshness and nutrition to your diet. And all this without significant effort on your part. That's precisely why lettuce is on our list of low-maintenance vegetables. So now you see why lettuce is an absolute must-have for your garden or even your balcony. It's ideal for anyone looking for an easy gardening experience and wanting to enjoy fresh, crisp greens. The next vegetable on our list will also surprise you with its simplicity and provide lots of benefits. Let's continue our journey to a hassle-free garden. Okay, how about fresh green onions? You can grow them right on your windowsill, almost effortlessly. They're probably the most forgiving vegetable out there, and definitely deserve a look if you're searching for something that practically grows itself. Growing green onions isn't just about having a cooking ingredient. It's a symbol of simplicity and accessibility in home gardening. So why are green onions so incredibly easy to grow? It's really quite straightforward. They need minimal space, a little bit of light, and some water to thrive. Forget about large garden beds and complicated care routines. You can literally start growing them right now using things you likely already have at home. One of the simplest ways to get started is using onion bulbs that have already begun to sprout. Just grab a regular onion you bought at the grocery store, snip off the top section, and place it in a glass with just enough water So the bottom, where the roots grow from, is touching the water. Within just a few days, you'll start seeing green shoots emerge and roots will appear from the base. This method is perfect for getting fresh greens indoors and doesn't even require any soil. If you prefer growing in soil, that's also a breeze. Take an onion bulb, gently peel off a few dry layers from the top to expose the tip. Plant it in a small pot filled with regular potting mix, bearing about 2/3 of the bulb. The soil should be loose, but even a standard all-purpose potting mix will work fine. Give it a water and place it on a bright windowsill. That's really all there is to it. It's truly ideal for beginner gardeners. As mentioned earlier, when it comes to soil, green onions are incredibly unfussy. They don't need special fertilizers or perfectly balanced soil. The most important thing is that the soil is reasonably loose and doesn't hold too much water, preventing it from becoming waterlogged. If you're using the hydroponic method in water, then you don't need any soil at all. This truly makes them a champion of easy gardening and a fantastic solution for urban living or small spaces. Watering green onions is essential, but it's quite intuitive. If you're growing them in water, just make sure the water doesn't get stagnant or cloudy. Change it every few days. If growing in soil, water when the top layer feels dry. Green onions like moisture, but they absolutely dislike sitting in a swamp. Overwatering can lead to the bulb rotting. With sufficient watering, you'll get nice, juicy and flavourful greens. It's one of the best little kitchen garden hacks you can use. Light is something green onions appreciate. The more light they get, the faster and greener their leaves will grow. Place them on your brightest windowsill. In the winter, if light is scarce, you can use a grow light, but they will still grow without one, just perhaps a bit slower. Temperature isn't critical either. They're perfectly happy at normal room temperature. Harvesting your green onions is a joy in itself. You can harvest the leaves by simply cutting them with scissors when they reach the length you want. The key thing is not to cut all the leaves off at once. Leave a few shoots so the bulb can continue to grow and produce new greens. This way, one bulb can provide you with fresh green onions for several weeks, sometimes even months. It's a genuinely hassle-free harvest that's always right at your fingertips. Beyond being a simple garnish, green onions are quite healthy. They're rich in vitamin C, which helps boost your immune system, and contain phytoncides, which have antibacterial properties. They're your personal, easy-to-access source of fresh vitamins right at home. They're perfect for anyone looking for low-maintenance vegetables and wanting to start their journey into growing their own food. So now you see just how incredibly easy it is to grow green onions. It's a fantastic way to have fresh greens year-round, without a lot of time or effort. The next vegetable on our list is also surprisingly easy, but offers the potential for a slightly larger harvest. Ready to learn more about growing your own food effortlessly? Now let's talk about the real workhorses, zucchini. They give such a huge harvest that sometimes you just don't know what to do with it all. If you want your garden to be absolutely loaded with fresh, healthy vegetables without spending all your weekends on upkeep, then zucchini is definitely your pick. It's one of the most productive and, best of all, low-maintenance vegetables around, and it will truly amaze you with how much it gives. So why are zucchini so incredibly productive and easy to grow? It all comes down to their amazing vitality and speed. Zucchini is a plant superstar. It grows by leaps and bounds, almost before your eyes, and its fruits ripen incredibly quickly. A single plant can keep producing throughout the entire season, and the sheer quantity is just staggering. You literally won't be able to keep up with picking them. Planting zucchini couldn't be simpler. You sow the seeds directly into the ground after the threat of frost has passed and the soil has warmed up nicely. This is typically in late May or early June, depending on where you live. Just make small holes about 2 to 3 centimetres deep and pop in 2 or 3 seeds per hole. You'll thin to the strongest seedling later. Give them plenty of space, at least a metre apart, because these plants get big. Then cover with soil and water well. It's truly one of the easiest ways for beginners to get started in the garden. When it comes to soil, zucchini love rich, well-drained ground. But they are so unfussy, they can produce a good harvest even in less than perfect conditions. The main thing is a sunny location, ideally sheltered from strong winds, while adding some compost or well-rotted manure to the planting holes can significantly boost your yield. It's not absolutely essential to get any harvest. Zucchini are tough. They'll often grow just fine without it. Watering is important for zucchini, especially when they're flowering and fruiting. They adore moisture, but absolutely hate having wet feet. Soggy soil is their enemy. Water them right at the base, trying to avoid getting water on the leaves, as this helps prevent fungal diseases. In hot, dry weather, they'll need a good, regular soak. But if you've had recent rain, or the soil is still damp, hold off on watering. Here's the golden rule: water only when the top inch or so of the soil feels dry. It's a simple garden tip that will help you grow perfect, juicy fruits. Sunshine. Zucchini are true sun worshippers. The more sunlight they get, the better they'll grow, and the more fruits they'll set. Give them the sunniest spot you have in your garden. If they don't get enough light, you'll see fewer fruits, and they'll develop much slower. And now, for the most exciting part, harvesting. Zucchini grow at an unbelievable pace, so you need to pick them constantly, ideally every 1 to 2 days. The more frequently you pick the young fruits, the more the plant will be encouraged to produce new ones. If you leave a zucchini on the plant for too long, it will get massive. The skin will become hard and the flesh will turn tough and seedy. Plus, those oversized squash drain the plant's energy, resulting in fewer new fruits. So, to ensure a continuous supply of delicious zucchini, just keep picking them when they're young and tender. You'll be absolutely amazed by how much you can get from a single plant. They are the definition of easy-to-grow vegetables. Zucchini isn't just a vegetable. It's an incredibly versatile ingredient for so many dishes. You can make them into fritters, stews, soups, casseroles, and countless other delicious meals. They're low in calories and packed with fibre, vitamins, and minerals. And the best part? You don't have to pour all your time and effort into getting this abundance. Zucchini proves that a bountiful garden doesn't have to mean endless hard work. It's absolutely achievable. So now you understand why zucchini is often hailed as the king of the low-maintenance garden. This is your perfect chance to get a truly impressive homegrown harvest with minimal fuss. The next vegetable on our list is just as simple and beneficial. Ready to continue our journey through the world of easy gardening? Bush beans are another champion of ease. They don't need support and grow perfectly well on their own. If you want to add protein, vitamins, and fibre to your diet without the hassle of staking, trellising, or building supports, bush beans are the perfect choice for you. They are surprisingly low maintenance and will reward you with a generous harvest of tender pods. So what makes bush beans stand out from other types? Unlike pole beans, bush beans grow as compact bushes that don't need poles or trellises. This makes growing them incredibly simple. You won't need to build trellises, put up netting, or spend time tying up plants. Simply plant them and they'll pretty much take care of themselves. They're a true gem for busy gardeners. Illustration: a close-up of bean pods on a bush, perhaps with flowers in bloom. Planting bush beans is incredibly straightforward. Sow the seeds directly into the garden bed once the danger of frost has completely passed and the soil is thoroughly warm. This is usually late May or early June in many areas. Beans are very sensitive to cold, so don't rush planting. Make shallow holes or trenches about 3 to 5 centimetres deep. Space the seeds 5 to 10 centimetres apart, leaving about 40 to 50 centimetres between rows. Cover with soil and water thoroughly. Some gardeners recommend soaking the seeds overnight before planting to speed up germination, but it's not strictly necessary. They'll sprout just fine without it. When it comes to soil, bush beans aren't particularly fussy. They prefer light, fertile, well-drained soil. Avoid heavy clay soils as they can retain too much water, which isn't good for the roots. If your soil is poor, amend it with some compost or well-rotted manure before planting. Like all legumes, beans enrich the soil with nitrogen, so they'll even improve the health of your garden bed. It's a smart gardening move, Watering is crucial for bush beans, especially during flowering and when the pods are developing. Lack of moisture can cause the flowers to drop, and the pods won't set or will be small and tough. Water regularly, but avoid overwatering, focusing the water at the base of the plants to avoid wetting the leaves. It's important not to let the soil dry out completely, but also avoid waterlogging. In hot, dry weather, you'll need to water more frequently. Proper watering ensures you get those tender, succulent pods. It's key to a bountiful, problem-free harvest. Bush beans love the sun. Choose the sunniest spot in your garden so they get maximum sunlight throughout the day. The more sun they get, the more prolific the harvest will be. They can tolerate light partial shade, but this will likely reduce your yield and the quality of the pods. Harvesting is one of the most rewarding parts of growing bush beans. Pick the pods when they are young and tender, typically 40 to 60 days after planting, depending on the variety. Don't wait until the pods get too big, or they'll become tough and stringy. The more frequently you harvest, the more new pods the plant will produce. Bush beans are incredibly generous. The more you pick, the more they give, as long as you harvest regularly. Simply snap or cut off the ripe pods, allowing the plant to continue producing. It's a truly accessible home harvest for everyone. Bush beans are not just easy to grow, but also incredibly healthy. They are rich in plant-based protein, making them a great meat substitute in your diet, as well as fibre, B vitamins, folate, and many minerals. They're an excellent source of nutrition, readily available right from your garden. They prove that a productive, low-fuss garden is not just a dream, but an achievable reality. Now you see why bush beans are a must-have for anyone looking for easy-to-grow vegetables. They don't require complex structures and provide an abundant harvest. Ready to learn about the next amazing vegetable that will bust your gardening myths? Surprisingly, growing carrots can be incredibly simple if you get the soil right. The myth about them being difficult will quickly disappear. Many people think carrots are fussy root vegetables that need constant attention. But if you follow a few basic rules, they can actually be one of the easiest and most rewarding crops in your garden. The real secret isn't in constant care, but in good preparation. So why do carrots seem tricky when they're really not? The main issue beginners face is getting crooked, forked, or small roots. This isn't because the carrots are fussy. It's almost always due to improper soil preparation. If the soil is loose and free of obstructions, carrots will grow straight and beautiful with very little fuss from you. This is where we really bust that myth about them being difficult to grow. So the single most important thing is soil preparation. Carrots absolutely love loose, light, sandy or loamy soil. It needs to be dug deeply to give those roots plenty of room to grow downwards. Make sure you remove all stones, soil clumps, weed roots, and anything else that could get in the way. If your soil is heavy or clayey, be sure to mix in plenty of sand and well-rotted compost. Never use fresh manure. That will cause the roots to fork and can give them a bad taste. Well prepared, loose soil is truly half the battle, and it's what will let you grow a problem-free harvest. Planting carrots also has a few simple points to remember. The seeds are very small, so it's often helpful to mix them with sand before sowing to get a more even spread. Sow carrots in early spring, as soon as the soil has warmed up enough to work. Make shallow furrows about 1 to 2 centimetres deep. Space the rows about 20 to 30 centimetres apart. Scatter the seeds evenly and cover them lightly with soil. Then water gently. Some people use pelleted seeds or seed tape to make sowing easier and reduce the need for thinning later. Thinning is the second most important step after soil prep. Carrots hate being crowded. Once the seedlings have grown a few centimetres tall and are strong enough, they need to be thinned. The first time, aim for about 2 to 3 centimetres between plants. A few weeks later, when the carrots have grown a bit more, thin them a second time, leaving 4 to 5 centimetres between them. This gives each root plenty of space to grow and access nutrients, which is critical for getting large, straight carrots. This step is truly key to an easy harvest. Watering is also very important for carrots. They need regular and consistent moisture, especially when the roots are actively growing. Lack of water will result in tough, bitter, and cracked carrots. And uneven watering, like cycles of drying out followed by heavy watering, can also cause the roots to split. Make sure to water deeply so the moisture reaches the roots. This is a top tip for getting great carrots. As for light, carrots love sunshine. Choose the sunniest spot in your garden for them. If they don't get enough light, the roots will be small and won't be as sweet. Harvesting carrots depends on the variety and maturity time. Harvest them as they reach the size you want. Young carrots are especially delicious and tender. Don't leave them in the ground too long, or they can become woody. Dig carefully around the roots to avoid damaging them. A properly grown carrot is a real treasure, and you can store them for a long time. They're one of the most rewarding crops from your home garden. Carrots are a powerhouse of vitamins, especially beta-carotene, which is great for your eyesight and immune system. They're incredibly versatile in the kitchen, used in soups, salads, stews, and juices. And now you know that growing them in your own garden with minimal effort is totally achievable, as long as you focus on proper preparation and timely thinning. So you see, carrots aren't the fussy vegetables they're sometimes made out to be. With the right soil preparation and just a little attention, they'll generously reward you with a fantastic harvest. Our next feature is also incredibly low maintenance and will add a little kick to your cooking. Ready to learn about more easy-to-grow garden favourites? And finally, garlic. Planting it in the fall guarantees a spring harvest that requires virtually no attention from you. If you want a guaranteed crop of healthy, flavourful vegetables without spending a lot of time and effort in the spring and summer, then garlic is your choice. It's so low maintenance it's often called the plant for lazy gardeners. What makes garlic so simple to grow? It's all about its unique life cycle. Planted in the fall, it roots and overwinters in the ground, then starts actively growing in the spring. It's not bothered by spring frosts, and by the time most other vegetables are just being planted, garlic is already vigorously growing leaves and forming bulbs. This allows you to get an early harvest with minimal effort. Planting garlic in the fall is the key to success. The best time to plant is a few weeks before the first hard freeze, so the garlic can root but not start actively growing tops. This is typically late September to October, depending on your region. Choose a sunny spot with well-drained soil for your garlic. Break apart a head of garlic into individual cloves, selecting only the largest and healthiest for planting. Plant the cloves about 5 to 7 centimetres deep and 10 to 15 centimetres apart. Cover with soil and water lightly. If your winters are harsh, mulch the bed with straw or fallen leaves to protect from frost. That's really all there is to it for a beginner's garden. When it comes to soil, garlic prefers loose, fertile soil with a neutral pH, but it's quite adaptable and can grow in regular garden soil as long as it's not too heavy and clayey. Adding compost or well-rotted manure before planting will significantly improve your yield, but it's not strictly necessary for a trouble-free harvest. Spring and summer care for garlic is minimal. It hardly requires any feeding. If your soil is poor, you can give it one feeding with a nitrogen fertilizer in the spring when the leaves start growing actively. More important is watering. Garlic likes moisture, especially during bulb formation. Water regularly but moderately, avoiding waterlogging. And another important point, removing scapes. If you're growing hard-neck garlic, which is typically planted in the fall, it will send up flower stalks or scapes. These scapes should be removed, as they divert energy from the plant and reduce the size of the bulbs. Harvesting garlic is a rewarding end to the season. Harvest garlic when the leaves start to yellow and droop. Don't wait too long, or the bulbs can split into individual cloves and won't store well. Gently loosen the soil around the bulbs with a spade and pull them up. Clean off the dirt and spread them out in a dry, well-ventilated place to cure. Once the garlic is well dried, trim off the roots and stems, leaving a small tail. Properly cured garlic stores wonderfully throughout the winter. It's a real treasure that will warm you in the winter and help protect against illness. This homegrown harvest will bring you joy. Garlic is more than just a seasoning. It's a valuable source of vitamins, minerals, and beneficial compounds. It has antibacterial and antiviral properties, strengthens the immune system, and helps fight off colds. By growing garlic in your garden, you're providing yourself and your family with a natural remedy. Now you have everything you need for a smart, easy garden. Now you know why garlic is a top choice for anyone who values their time and wants a guaranteed harvest without a lot of fuss. It proves that effortless gardening isn't just a phrase but a way of life. And that concludes our list of champions for low-maintenance growing. We hope this information was helpful and inspires you to create your own simple, rewarding garden. So what's the secret behind these vegetables? Many people think you need a special green thumb for gardening, but that's just not true. Actually, these plants are the result of thousands of years of natural selection. They're simply wired for survival. Just picture this. You plant them once, and you're harvesting for weeks, sometimes even months, and all that without needing to fuss over them constantly. It's not just about saving money, it's about a taste you truly can't find in any store. The freshness, the health benefits, and most importantly, that sense of pride from growing your own. And here's the best part. You can start today. You don't need to be an expert. Just give it a try. So, we've seen that growing delicious and healthy vegetables in your garden, or even on your balcony, is much simpler than it seems. Thanks so much for watching this video all the way through. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. And in your experience, what are the most low-maintenance vegetables to grow? Share your tips in the comments below.